that man that man that man 突き刺された身の目痛みよりも快楽を感じるお前はソルジャー鷹は奪い取る鳩はえぐり込む抗生物質が踊り明かすヘル自然に発達筋肉増強物理的脅威振り上げるロングソード氷のように肉片が散らばる荒れ晴れた荒野都会の空は夕日で赤く染まった AM から PM から AM 暗くなると同時に高まる支配欲爆発させるタイムクリスタル現実に破れることからゲームは始まる真の姿となったお前の力マンマーク暴れ回るデーモンロングテール蹴りをつけるアクト安心で連戦連勝血しぶきを受けて前進するスペースフリー強烈なメッセージよりただ攻撃的水の場を全員的プレスの餌食だがメジャラブル新たな手口とのいたちごっこ運動量で見事な運が悪ければぶっ飛ぶだろうな一瞬が迷いをつくエラとエライノベーションのジレンマに陥る大きな溝にはドラマギリギリまで諦めんな因果の糸車頭の中が仕事政治や正義の拳が振り抜けないぜ
生きてるんだよねスクルドリルスモークチェススクルドリルスモークチェスプッパーマシンガーアタックぶっ飛ぶ銀河スクルドリルスモークチェススクルドリルスモークチェスグリーキリサーキリラ生きてきたメン細部に宿るか GOD 狂気と覚醒設計回路脳内旋回レーザーメステ口キスティーヒルスキア The first line Dead line 腰を入れ体積目ドンのやつでもキャッチライライダフテキビタヘラヘラエクストラスクエアエラオンピショロハーツマスッと目覚めるリアライズ動くほど心散り言葉重ね遠くなる風が止み水が進み月が移り立ち止まる奥の奥を聞く In your world 光と影善と悪想像する空と海おぼろげな夕日ジャガのブランデミック因果格好結果決める立場考え異なる相手耳を持たずに己が信じる正義だけ振りかざす悪分断加速アーリスパイス憎しみの思考言論行動時空の彼方鼓動愛へDon't stop, don't quit ぶっ放すマシンガー Don't stop, don't quit アタックぶっ飛ぶ銀河誰のものでもないお前こそがお前のもの他の誰でもないお前こそが主人公 Don't stop, don't quit
Ha! Oath for myself 愛す家族守るこの体日々の生活途中道中術を磨く練り込む技ワンツーデッマン死に際今はの気は死ぬわけにはいかない心が体を操縦する魂は血は筋肉踊りえぐり込むタンパク質パンパンアップ呼吸血管ブーストするでかい敵は足元から崩すブレる残像進化見極める意志育ち歩き走り出し選択をし戦士になり帰り地の後に花が咲き過去最強己でぶつかる過ぎた景色は過去相手目の前距離を詰めやり合う戦いコミュニケーションできることを増やして対応続けていく毎度毎度毎分毎秒燃やす脳みそかまされたなら挑むサイド常在戦場この状況2の立ちらず握るグリップ1の立ち疑わず引き込んだらラッコーンしてぶっ放す
That
メンはマスクメンやさぐれた運命軌道修正切り捨てごめんこめかみに銃声宿命の星見上げるフルフェイス対角線上の宿敵論に音ジュリエシミュレーションの基礎強ロシアンルーレ逆境こそチャンスと心得る修正報復前進のリズムで時空ゆえ多勢に無勢なら当然のペインのゲイントップシークレット墓まで持ってく持久戦口をつくのは口よりもパープルヘイズもしくは目がしみるほどの伏流炎今日もこのしのぎに固く誓う忠誠エクセレンシーからエクスタシーヒュプノスもタナトスも知らなかったカタルシス今しめ破ったイカルスにぶつイカズチ足元に屍熱背中には棺一呼吸置いて前後上下左右確認タクシードライバーの狂気は正義の鉄意逆に打たれてる杭ならまっすぐにエクセレンシーからエクスタシー竜のようにアクサバーク理由がある0か100のドゥは大一人特殊部隊マクチ武器のスプリンクラー死刑執行人は天文学者血塗られるプラネタリウムのカシオペア不況は思う男には死がに合うのテーマ痛感神経麻痺手も値上げな四面楚歌でコース百科両乱ヘブンストーンのマスターキーとニューワールドオーダー毒を持って毒を制す呼吸法のマスター不可能を可能にする男ロミオスターゲイザー
That man. I'm not that man. That man. Hit that man. Hit. That man. That man. Hit. That man. Hit. 突き刺された身の目痛みよりも快楽を感じるお前はソルジャー鷹は奪い取る鳩はえぐり込む抗生物質が驚かせる自然に発達筋肉増強物理的脅威振り上げるロングソード氷のように肉片が散らばる荒晴れた荒野都会の空は夕日で赤く染まった AM から PM から AM 暗くなると同時に高まる支配欲爆発させるタイムクリスタル現実に敗れることからゲームは始まる真の姿となったお前の力マンマーク暴れ回るデーモンロングテール蹴りをつけるアクトアンシムレー連戦連勝血しぶきを受けて前進するスペースフリー強烈なメッセージよりただ攻撃的水の場を全員的プレスの餌食だがメジャラブル新たな手口とのいたちごっこ運動量で見行な運が悪ければぶっ飛ぶだろうな一瞬が迷いをつくエラーとエラーイノベーションのジレンマに陥る大きな溝にはドラマギリギリまで諦めんな因果の糸車頭の中が仕事政治や正義の拳が振り抜けないぜ
生きてるんだよねスクルドリルスモークチェススクルドリルスモークチェスプーパーマシンガーアタックぶっ飛ぶ銀河スクルドリルスモークチェススクルドリルスモークチェスクリー切り裂切りラ生きてきてメン細部に宿るか GOD 狂気と覚醒設計回路脳内旋回レーザーメステ口キスティーヒルスキア The first line dead line 腰を入れ体積目ドンのやつでもキャッチライライダフテキビタヘラヘラエクストラスクエアエラオンピショロハーツマスッと目覚めるリアライズ動くほど心散れ言葉重ね遠くなる風が止み水が進み月が移れ立ち止まる奥の奥を聞く In your world 光と影善と悪想像する空と海おぼろげな夕日ジャガのブランデミック因果格好結果決める立場考え異なる相手耳を持たずに己が信じる正義だけ振りかざす悪分断加速煽りスパイス憎しみの思考言論行動時空の彼方鼓動愛へDon't stop, don't quit ぶっ放すマシンガー Don't stop, don't quit アタックぶっ飛ぶ銀河誰のものでもないお前こそがお前のもの他の誰でもないお前こそが主人公 Don't stop, don't quit
Ha! Oath for myself I ス家 家族守るこの体日々の生活途中道中術を磨く練り込む技ワンツーデッマン死に際今はの気は死ぬわけにはいかない心が体を操縦する魂は血は筋肉踊りえぐり込むタンパク質パンパンアップ呼吸血管ブーストするでかい敵は足元から崩すブレる残像進化見極める意志育ち歩き走り出し選択をし戦士になり帰り地の後に花が咲き過去最強己でぶつかる過ぎた景色は過去相手目の前距離を詰めやり合う戦いコミュニケーションできることを増やして対応続けていく毎度毎度毎分毎秒燃やす脳みそかまされたなら挑むサイド常在戦場この状況2の立ちらず握るグリップ1の立ち疑わず引き込んだらラッコーしてぶっ放す
デメンはマスクメンやさぐれた運命軌道修正切り捨てごめんこめかみに優勢宿命の星に上げるフルフェイス対角線上の宿敵論に音ゆえシミュレーションの基礎強のシアンルーレ逆境こそチャンスと心得る修正ポップ前進のリズムで時空ゆえ風に無勢なら当然のペインのゲイントップシークレット墓まで持ってく持久戦
Hello everyone and welcome! It's finally Romeo's the Dead Man day again. Since we had too many interruptions the last time. New area to explore, so that's gonna be interesting. Oh yeah. I think there was this idea that I could just try and get I think like 10,000 more. Oh, might have that soon. To get into the new dimensional sphere and find out what the next area is. I totally forgot from last time. You know, I kind of wish that there was more to this than, you know, just collecting stuff. Yeah, let's just get there.
I've got a visual on the dimensional seer.
Prepare to fire internal sleep.
Oh, I completely forgot. There's also chat should be in the left corner. Upper left corner. Game. There we go. Oh, a cult. Oh, right, that was a cult. Well, I guess in the 70s we're defeating a cult leader or something. I really forgot what we were doing there.
Power. It is power that will become our path to God's paradise. You shall not deny violence. You shall not deny yourselves emotional release. You shall not deny your own bloodlust. Everyone, raise your fists and know that these fists shall be the key to open the door to paradise! I bestow upon you
Wait, wasn't he Roman?
further blessing to bring you closer to God.
Gesundheit.
Was unintended. Sorry.
No worries. Everything is alright. We just have crazy Roman guy in the 70s turning people into zombies. This could be actually a Call of Duty zombie storyline.
With the whole turning people into zombies, it seems pretty normal.
Are you watching?
I mean, he is from Roman times. He was a gladiator.
Power!
Yeah, then the whole crazy Catholic thing makes even more sense.
I guess. But why the 70s? Okay, we had to do that joke one time. Came off the space time bottle directly into the barn.
What the hell, man? Huh? Well, did you say something?
Nope, I didn't say anything.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard something. It sounds like it's coming from inside this tank.
Person? We need to help him. Oh. Oh. The smell is overwhelming. I feel sick.
I can't smell a thing. It's good to be 2D in times like this.
Oh damn, I forgot to put up the chat. Hey Vivek, 1 second, I just also realized I needed to align myself again. It seems normal, yes. Very normal. Use a brush to clean the... Okay, we have a minigame for that now. Okay. Is this going to be a regular thing? Okay. Hi, it's me to chat. Yes! Very appreciated chat. Always enjoyable to talk. We're now in like a cult in the 70s run by an ex-Roman gladiator. Oh. You know, as you do.
That's a weird skeleton. Skeletons aren't white.
It really was a person. No. Wait, that's not...
Oh, I thought I was gonna die.
Are you okay?
Hippie zombie.
I'm not sure.
Militant hippie
I
zombie.
think so.
That's good. What were you doing in a place like this?
I'm Jenny. Who are you?
She's
Romeo.
dodging the question.
Romeo the Dead Man.
Dead man? What's that? It's kind of funny. So you want to know why I was in here, right? I'm a rookie reporter. I was following a certain case. You know, the actress who was killed by that cult, right?
No, I don't.
No way, really? Everyone's been talking about it.
I know what she's talking about.
Huh? Is there someone else here?
Oh, yeah, that's my grandpa Ben. It's a long story, but he's on my back right now.
There, Liz.
You just get more and more interesting, dead man.
So, about that cult?
Oh, yeah. I was investigating some of the members, and I ended up here at this commune.
This might be the most upbeat area so far. Why are you being so careful? Yeah, why did you get into that tank? So why are you a zombie now? Why are you not bothered by that? Oh. Also, again, not a lot of voice acting. Grandpa.
Dead man.
Obviously, she has two. Obviously, she has two. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, open area, so... Frame rate dips a bit. Peak design. Suda 51. Doesn't miss. Why was there a bunny on his shirt?
Yeah. What's this?
Okay, we're back to Buddhism. Able to grant wishes. Oh. Okay, first off, let's save a bit. Aha! I slowly grasp what they want from us. Okay. Oh, that's a neat design. Neat level. Yeah, let's finish a space-time rift once. That should be done. So. But yeah, pretty... the design really is very much on point this game. Definitely need to get the controls down again. Haven't played a bit in a while, and you just saw me use quite literally use a healing stick, because guess what? Started putting in a bit of time in raid mode again, and interaction is with F. So. Oh. Yo. Sadly, we can't take a zombie girl with us. Would probably be useful. So how was everyone's day? Here it was. It happened, I'd say. So basically mostly waking up, appointment. Yeah, not a lot of things going on really. Oh no, what's going on there? If you want to talk about it, feel free, but hope that does solve itself. One camera when the real estate thing you're moving from won't handle the side of the painting you move was paying, so I have to say rent an empty place deal with that. Yeah, that's really annoying. I get you. That's major bullshit. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, painting something, that's actually quite nice, but yeah, I can definitely see how, you know, being in an empty house, it's just, especially when there is a lot of distance between the places, so it's not like, oh, you can just like switch over and have someone there. That is just the worst. I do get that. Okay. Do hope that it's at least relatively it's not that it's not taking too long to deal with.
Shutting down.
God, like I still remember very much how basically like back when I was young, my episode by next month anyway, so it'll be fine. Oh, it's nice. It's probably just like annoying. Yeah, I do remember when, you know, like my parents basically like got a house when I was young, and oh boy, how should I put it the best way? So you know, it's a small one, and it was still in the same village, so that was an upside because what basically happened, and I kid you not, it's like bought house. And so then there was like, oh, one of the worst like storms in decades in the region. And I can basically describe it as holy shit. It turns out that house just had a lot of mistakes thanks to French people. And I mean in the most literal sense. Like, you know, problems that that would not usually be a thing.
Yeah.
If, you know, there wasn't like, let's say, a really strong storm. This was like literally, and this was like genuinely a week after buying it. Like, for example, my room, I chose, okay, might have been the dumbest thing considering I basically became someone who's was mostly playing games indoors. I was like, oh hey, balcony, south side, on the top floor. It was so, it could get so fucking warm in there, but like, it was neat. Yeah. This is like, basically my parents only thought about like one small change. Because basically, on the first, okay, so just so you know, in Germany we count ground floor, first floor, second floor, etc.
No hesitation.
So basically, first floor we had, we basically wanted to have like the room for me and the room for my sister. But there were 3 rooms, 2 small ones and 1 big one. So what happened is that my father was just like, oh, that's easy, you know, we just tear down the wall between the 2 small rooms, maybe put up another bigger, you know, another wall, and that's fine, you know, then it's fine. We can just continue. So shit that happened then. So because this building was made by a French person, by a French company, and by the way, all of them, this was a row house. So basically, when that happened to us, it happened to a lot in a row. So what happened was, the balcony was not really, let's just put it mildly, there was no way for water to really flow out. So the water rose and then pushed through the window into the house. And then, you know, into the floor. And down a floor. And then the floor. So there was like 3 floors of water damage. So they had to rip out the floor. And redo them.
I still unsure how they managed to do that.
You mean the floor?
The balcony.
Okay, this is you're going to be this is going to sound insane, but the balcony was slanted towards the house. This is literally the shit, you know.
Let it just build it like the Soviets did.
Okay.
Like, you have the side protection on the railing, right?
Yeah.
And well, below the side protection, you just don't put anything there, so it always flows outwards.
That you know, doesn't really help again when the people who build the thing don't give a shit.
I have to say that sadly, Soviet Union won.
You know what? I do not want to know how many. Okay, they couldn't really fuck up a lot, but they definitely also fucked up.
They definitely did. I'm just saying, for some weird reason, that's the one part where they didn't suck.
I mean, as we like to call it in Germany, they made it idiotensicher.
Yeah.
So they idiot-proofed their house making, but yeah. In general, it was pretty bad, and then. Well, then it was to a degree a case of let's just expand on what we want to do, because, like, for example, there was like a place under the roof, and my parents were like, hey, we could put our bed there, but, you know, then they were like, you know, fuck it, let's just build a new stairway there, because there was just a thing that you had to pull down with like a hook, which sucks. But then we had other fun shit like, oh hey, how, for example, basically the heating had to be redone, which, you know, good thing this was still when my grandpa had his company, so that was like the least problem. my grandpa, my father's dad, had a company for how's it called? They installed heating and shit. So that was an upside, and so we had a bit of help from the general family, but then we also just had bullshit. Like, for example, I kid you not, basically when my dad was like redoing the, opening up the walls for my sister's room, you know what he found out? The fuckers didn't do the electricity right. Because, like, by the way, this is why I will say they literally how's it called, made illegal shit there, because in Germany you have to put electric wire inside of its own tube and then also tie it together in bunches, so you always know where what is, and there is a clear way. This is, by the way, mandated. Electric wire has to come literally down from the ceiling downwards. In a 90-degree angle before it hits like an electric outlet. That is, again, mandated. This is how they have to build shit here. Turns out they were just like, how about we just throw it like in? And you're like probably thinking, what throw in? Well, you see, Germans have this thing that we like to build our buildings out of concrete. So these people quite literally just crisscross the wires in the concrete. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this was something that we couldn't even do anything about because these buildings were also old, but it's not like people got like genuinely pissed in the neighborhood. Okay, and the thing is, you're probably now thinking, okay, so they threw in just wires crisscross across everything. That's bad, right? Yeah, so they threw in wires crisscross. Like there were wires in a diagonal line, in the ceiling, in the concrete, and I shit you not, this is why we actually had to fucking open up the walls. Because in some places,
yeah.
Just you know, have you ever seen an electric wire? Just baseline question. they are relatively thick, and they are relatively, you know, relatively well isolated. Like, that's still a wire you want to have when you know run a current through it to, I don't know, you know, have a plug in there, or like lamps, etc. Okay, now it's getting ridiculous. What the hell is an electric shower? Anyway, but yeah.
But immediately has at the second autocomplete result.
Lol. Oh, let me guess. It's the heating is inside, already built inside this the shower. Oh, that's not dumb. I see why this could be the case.
It's probably counterproductive to long showers.
Hey!
Depends, actually, considering it's just like a bit of a boiling. Yeah, probably. It's more like, it's not like we don't heat without electricity here. It's more like you have like a central boiler and, you know, that boils everything. I mean, probably most people are like that the current is so close to water, but like also, as I said before, as I just said, we kind of have that as well. It's just, you know, it's in the basement, so, Oh well. But yeah, basically, imagine this, that some of those power outlets were, and I shit you not, connected with fucking model, like, hobby wires. You know, like, literally the shit I used to, like, plug stuff into my model railway. So that was, interesting. So yeah, turns out the whole we're gonna move in this year was like at least, I think, 2 years later? 2 to 3 years later? I fucking switched schools to, okay. I need to be accurate. I switched grade schools. Yeah, it was just kind of funny because, like, I'm going to be honest with you here. I find it's very funny that this happened to me like twice in my goddamn life. It wouldn't even surprise me that if I ever hit university, I would even switch tags. Considering my track record, yeah, no, sometimes.
Ready to go.
What?
It's the pollen.
But we don't let them even in.
Huh?
We don't even let the pollen in.
We brought them in. Invasive fucking plant spot.
But yeah, basically what happened. What happened was that there was a grade school in the village, and so my parents were like, "Oh, hey, you know, we're gonna move over, like basically to the other side of the village where the school was, and you know, you're there like in seconds, so you can just chill out more." And like, oh, sounds nice. Then, you know, first and second class was like, oh, problems with the kid, and like, this can't go on, and like, oh no, and then, you know, I switched schools to a neighboring village. And turns out, oh no, it was not me, it was the fucking teacher. Who knew? Truth be told, the class was also just way more chill over there, but that's a different topic. Yeah. I guess you can say that it did work out, but also like it was just funny how, you know, my way to school just increased. So, yay. And then, you know, yeah, you know what, cool school, absolutely loved there. You know, suddenly everything worked out. You know, I was able to make friends. I mean, I basically just hang out with the girls all the time. It was very funny in hindsight, but it's another topic. But still, yeah, it was really nice. And then the dumbest thing happened because basically, okay, so basically the schools in the region, when you go from grade to a high school, you basically had the choice between the two cities, like the two nearby cities. And most from the school I went to the town that was farther away from me, but also in another country, like in another state, because there was like literally a state border. And the thing is, so, okay, and I get my mother, what her thought process was there, but also, here's the thing about her. She basically went to a school in the town, she basically went to the same school I went to, and then switched because, you know, the teacher sucked, and then she went to school in the other town across the state border. But her reason for why I shouldn't go there, even though like everyone I knew was going to one there, like, was quite literally, okay, was basically the thing that in that state, all the final exams, so like, you know, 10 years out almost,
Shutting down.
are done in school. So like, the teachers make the test, the teachers grade the test, etc., etc., etc. So it's pretty, you know, it's pretty simple, but also, well, when you come in with a good grade from that school, from that state,
I've got a bad feeling
you
about
were,
this.
especially during her time, second choice in universities. When you apply to a university, like the thing is, because of the state, because every state has their own merit and stool system here.
Using that really make my wish come true?
Oh.
It sounds like nonsense.
It will. You're pretty skeptical for a child of God.
Insolent bitch. So, what do you want in return?
Nothing in particular. Use it as you like.
What do you desire?
I just want to watch. Sort of an observation.
What am I to you? Nothing more than an insect.
If that's how you want to take it.
I will not tolerate your insults.
Ooh, how scary. But don't bother. You can't hurt me.
Can I not?
No. Wanna try?
Let's not.
See. You can't touch me.
Anyway, I'll use it as I see fit.
All right. He will be here soon. Good luck.
Okay. So yeah, there's this funny thing about if you have like basically
So,
oh wait.
You're one of those agents. I've never seen you before. A newbie? Who do you think I am? They think they can catch me using a little punk like you. It's so pathetic, it's not even funny. But that doesn't matter.
Love how they block the animation with a block of cheese. Just to save on animation.
By the way, have you ever seen God before? I have not. Not even once. I, celebrated as the child of God, have never seen this God who is supposed to be my father. Laughable, isn't it? Yet, my followers still worship me. As the child of God. I have no intention of fooling anyone. More important to them than some invisible God is the child of God right before their eyes. I am the child of God. Nothing more, nothing less. I've spoken too much.
I'm going to use you to summon him here. Where is he? Where is the black? It was him! He ruined my life!
Oh, yeah, the shot is great.
My entire life! Summon him here! Right here! Right now!
Oh, that was...
Yes, that's good. Violence. Violence is what purifies one's power within. I know you understand, too. The spiritual clarity you feel when your fists fill with power. That unconditional love for your opponent. Feel it. Feel it.
Be careful, Romeo. There's nothing but emptiness there.
I understand. You and I are the same.
Romeo, don't...
Why are his eyes Brazil flags?
I came to help, Romeo.
Jenny!
Looks like I was just in time.
How did you get here?
Someone hit me from behind and knocked me out, but some strange old man helped me. He said,
"Save Romeo."
Some strange old man. Maybe one of the other agents?
Could be. Either way, it looks like we've been
Deal
saved.
number one.
now that he's dead, does that mean mission accomplished?
No.
No, I get it.
This one's a fake. I fought this type before.
Huh. So where's the real one?
Somewhere out there. Somewhere. Deep down.
Well, let's go find him.
Sadly, we don't really have any shouting like that. And oh, we have one, but it's cringe as fuck. And the cult leader's room, alright.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is a church that preaches violence, so... Anyway, the thing I wanted to get at is, when I'm saying that, I'm thinking of the one Tumblr post with a map of pirates or something. I don't know what I'm thinking of, it's just, shit that's happening this year again. Okay, so you need to keep in mind, one of the things about Germany is like, no one here is really going, hell yeah, Germany. That's just a thing no one likes to do. That is just like an ingrained thing we're just not doing. Period. Except every 4 years, when there is World Cup, we will rival the USA in terms of flags flying around. It is completely insane that for like a few weeks, that like every 4 years, the whole country is just like everywhere Germany flags. Everyone is singing some absolutely stupid song up and down. We did the same song twice for some reason. And yeah. It's similar in Brazil. Like the whole, yeah, we shouldn't be too happy about our country, but like, oh, football time. I guess we can just like have a little bit of nationalism as a treat.
Can't take you any further than this. I'm the only one who can pass through this TV. And Magnus is on the other side. I know it. My consciousness, all my senses, warning me that he's there. I can see him.
I don't really get what you're talking about. But okay, I guess that's how it has to be. Just make sure you get him, no matter what.
I will.
And then there's yeah, I think World Cups are like quite literally the one time where everyone is just like, I think everyone is just like, oh hey, we have like a blank check to just go wild, I guess? What can I have with the Oscars this time? Ooh. Oh well, it happens. We had it, I think a few years ago because All Quiet on the Western Front was like, you know, Germany did one big movie again and it won an Oscar. Generally, this was probably like, I'm going to be honest with you here, it kind of is like, oh, Germans make like the third version of, you know, All Quiet on the Western Front, which kind of is like, that is basically Oscar baiting. Let's just be real here. But also, it had tanks, so it was kind of a good Oscar bait. Oh. Are you crying, dead man? That doubt is the proof of one's humanity. Do you shed the tears of time at the many things you have lost? But don't look back, dead man. Eventually one reaches the end of their childhood. Leave your dark history behind you and tame the beast of possibility. Therein lies the evolution of humanity. Travel to subspace. Yep. I have not heard of that movie, but maybe I should look into it. But yeah, that was definitely one of the big ones that we had a while ago. So, which was basically one of those, holy shit, we can still make movies. And it's a good one, like... But yeah, funny enough,
Hey!
it's one of those types of movies. Sounds interesting. Yeah. The whole, how much, the whole people letting loose is just really, it's only during World Cup basically here. I think German nationalism, like, I don't think really we have a defensive one. Like, a lot of times, like, if people get too outrageous, like, let me just put it like this. I think the one time where people get defensive, and I would say rightfully so, is the whole, when someone goes, haha, everyone in Germany is still a Nazi, which is just like, I don't know. That is pretty much rightfully something people can be pissed about, who just kept being smeared all over the country. Yeah, you know, especially since it's one of those things with like, listen, we're probably more aware of like our past than most countries, but also, like, let me be clear here, the fascist rates in other countries are higher. This doesn't mean, you know, it's good or that we don't have any Nazis. It's just like, the irony is when you, for example, learn that the AfD in Germany, for example, has only gets like enough votes usually during like certain like bigger elections. But they don't even have enough people to just, like, fill offices. Like, that's a thing. They can basically set themselves up, but they would not have enough people to actually run a government if they got elected. Just think about that. And they won, like, two, how's it called? In 2 cities in the East. And it's like, I think one already is not even run by them anymore, and the other one is also just like complete failure. So, oh no. Yeah, but like I think the whole let me put it like this. There's a phenomenon in some East European countries, especially Poland, where a bunch of people just have the mindset of, we can't be Nazis because, you know, the Nazis invaded us. The Germans are the Nazis.
Partially correct.
But also, like, again, fascism comes in many different forms. The thing is more like, look, we have a, we just have a sort of fascism. Every single country in the world has a problem with that. But I think many people looked at the old, very tired, very American one, like very American media pushed trope of, you know, everyone in Germany is a Nazi, because there is comfort in the thinking that we are not that. That's again the whole, it's the whole we can't be because the Germans are the Nazis. You know? Let's just overlook the rest, like, all of them, really. Like, I'm just gonna be frank here. The French should not open their mouth, considering they, yes, they keep, you know, saving the country with left-wing alliances, but like, Marine Le Pen is a bit too big still for, you know, anyone to be like, oh yeah. Meanwhile, again, the AfD has not even enough people to set up a government. are basically getting pushed up by, well, just a lot of rich people bankrolling them, so they can just stay relevant. That's the whole thing. And like every time there are like mass protests around the country, their numbers drop by like massive percents. They just drop. The moment it gets clear, you know, people hate the AfD. It's like, oh. Oh yeah, surprising how that works, but like... Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you here, I once had, someone from Hungary tell me, oh, all the Germans are Nazis, and I'm just like... Listen, fucker, I know he manipulates shit for, like, elections to hell and back, but... You have Orban. Don't open your fucking mouth. Denmark also had a run-in with them. Like, a bunch of European countries already had them. And it's, it's a move to say that, right? Oops. Good. But yeah, I'm just like, this is probably the one time we definitely get defensive, because also, like, I do hear regularly British people say that, but also like, oh. And then some are like now smirky, well, we have Labour, and like, you mean with Keir Starmer at the helm? Anyway. Like, listen, Merz also sucks. He's also more right-wing than Angela Merkel, but like, holy shit, Merz is like tame in comparison to most conservative to right-leaning politicians out there. And we still hate him with a passion. But again, that's only the one thing we get defensive about. Like, nationalism here is more, how should I put it? Jokey? I think jokey is more the case. Like, let me put it like this. There's this whole thing about, oh hey, you're German, meaning, you know, you just have some, it's more like the thing that keeps, that identifies you as German is, you're kind of strict with rules, you will always, have like, you're very, specific about recycling, there's Nachtruhe that has to be honored. stuff like that. Oh yeah, wearing Birkenstock shoe, or generally house shoe. That's a big thing. Thickness of the arms that soothed your trembling, the warmth of the hands that ruffled your hair. Okay, you need to send me that. You need to actually send me that. Are you autistic or German, Chris? I want to take that.
Both?
I mean, I will say both, because I do think, let me put it like this. I think a lot of, especially contemporary German culture, was definitely laid down by autistic people. But everyone accepted it, because the thing is, like, everyone just kind of also agreed that it made for, kind of a pleasant society. So, you can link it here, or you can link it in the Discord. It's both okay. So, like, like, I think one of the biggest examples is like when people like move to here from like America and stuff. It's like 15 questions, 2 minutes, 1 uncomfortable truth. You know what? Let's just do this. I mean, yeah, it just makes for like a very relaxed environment, actually. So that's basically why we all do it. Like, for example, if you go for example, like Nachtruhe is a good example in my opinion. It's one of those things where you look at and it actually kind of makes sense. It's quite literally, if you go, like, I think after 20/21, depends on, I think, the day of the week, you're just supposed to be silent, period. You're quite literally supposed to be silent. That's what it means, like the night rest. You're supposed to turn on the noise, just make it so that people can sleep. That's like the law. You can get the police called on you if you're like too loud during at midnight. Anyway, punctuality is a basic moral obligation. To be late is disrespect other people's time, which is disrespect them. Yeah, it is. Generally important, but context dependent. 5%. No, you're like, sorry. You're like, okay, we're meeting there. Then you're there. That's what you do. I think that's technically the law here, but it's somewhat unenforced. Yeah, here it's enforced. You receive a new piece of equipment. You read the manual completely before touching anything. This is not optional. Read the manual. Specific order. I have determined the optimal of assessing the table of contents. Read the relevant sections. Who reads manuals? I mean, you read relevant sections, obviously. You want to know how shit works. That's like, who doesn't open a manual? Someone gives you unclear instructions. You ask clarification so the instructions are unambiguous. Ambiguity is a failure of the speaker. With instructions as literally as possible and hold the person responsible for any unintended consequences. That's what you're doing. This is your answer.
Right. Someone gives you unclear instructions. You follow the instruction as literally as possible and hold the person responsible for any unintended outcome. If I'm spiteful, yes.
But also, like, ambiguity is a failure of the speaker.
Also true.
Yeah, like, you should be clear, and it's not bad. Small talk is a necessary social lubrication. I have become proficient. I do not enjoy it. A social ritual whose purpose I understand, but whose execution I find bewildering. Fine, I'm normal about it. An insult to the possibility of real conversation.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, you can talk about the weather. That's one thing. But, like, the weather should be important to talk about.
If you're actually interested in it.
I'm very much a remain quietly distressed person. Ah, yeah, I get you. Most reasonable response for someone doing something inefficiently in front of you is more efficient. Explain it once. If they continue to do it wrong, that's their problem. Say nothing, but spend the rest of the day thinking about it. Let it go.
It's either 1 or 3 in my case.
I mean, you do say, but also, like, it kind of is their problem, but I know some people that behave like that. But generally, you tell them how you do it better. You should do that. That's just nice. Rules exist for reasons. The reason no longer applies. The rule no longer applies. Is everyone that as rules are rules. The rules is to regardless of context. That's the point of rules. Saying falling out of the window. Why did they do it like that? I know those people, and they're like, just stop doing that. Honestly,
pretty much everything except 2.
Yeah, that's like stupid. But I mean, it's a thing you do due to cooperation, due to social cooperation. It's more like, yeah.
Yes, although I would probably answer 3. But that's just me.
That's also fair. Like, I think 3 and 4, but I do think in general, the whole it's not inherently binding is one thing, but, like, you know, for example, the whole, you know, Nachtruhe is just something you follow because it's just you're just nice to everyone else. You're considerate. I'm a 1, I think. Yeah, that's fair. You've discovered to do something you've been doing wrong for 10 years. You update immediately and do it in the old way again. Update immediately and feel genuine sense of relief that what is no more correct. Update gradually because changing habits is bad. It's hard. Feel briefly ashamed about the 10 years, then update. I hate to say that, but this is me. I wasn't efficient, okay? That sucks to know when you're inefficient. How do you feel when someone interrupts your focus? Mildly annoyed, but I can return to it easily. Interruption costs me approximately 20 minutes of recovery time. I've done the calculations. It depends whether the interruption was legitimate. It's generally just difficult to describe, like a physical sensation. It definitely depends if the interruption was legitimate. That is,
I can't, but that's literally my...
I know. It's like a physical sensation. Oh, I know where you fall. Sorry. But, like, for me, it's like, you better have a reason. Because, like, if you do it, oh, hey, thank you for the interruption. That was useful. If not, the wrath of the German.
You mean the thing you did, like, 3 times while you made dinner today?
But they wouldn't be relevant.
According to you. Not according to me.
No interruption is for you relevant.
No.
I could.
They're relevant interruption, like the house is burning again.
Okay. But you're setting the bar very high there.
It's just a concrete example.
When someone says we should get coffee sometime, and I send this to mean a genuine invitation, recurring follow-up scheduling.
It's 1 or 3 in my case.
It is like, we should get coffee sometime. Yeah. And you plan coffee.
You should, but most of the time they don't mean it.
Well, that's their problem. I'm planning around it now.
Oh, you can only plan around it if they give you a schedule.
This is why I will just ask them, you still want that?
But
You still
at
want
least
that?
in my case, I'm relatively certain they don't because I don't drink coffee.
That's true. I invite you to tea and cats. Your position on separating personal and professional matter is absolutely do not mix is not negotiable. I have a strong preference for separation, but I understand the real world is messier. I find the boundary confusing and tend to be either too professional in personal settings, too personal professional ones, context dependent. I can navigate both.
That's hard. I guess 2.
Yeah, I mean, the world is messy, but like, you know, you should definitely keep it to yourself to a degree. Ah, yeah, the American way, right? The Americans are weird. This is like, if someone asks you to meet on a coffee, this means you meet on a coffee. You plan a date where you meet up, period. When you know a lot about something, you share relevant information when asked. I don't volunteer unsolicited. That would be presumptuous. I have conscious stop myself from saying everything I know about it. Mention if it seems useful. Feel a responsibility to correct misconceptions when I encounter them.
Context dependent. 1, 2, and 4. But 2 is the autistic one.
Yeah, but like, that's thanks to my grandpa. And then by parents, it was always like your inner monologue is orderly. If sentences are grammatically correct. Well, that is gonna be fun now because I'm off a 2 which murders me sometimes. It's fine, honestly. You might actually get along much better in Germany due to that. Again, it's a society where a lot of people are just normal, but we're structured like autistic people to a degree. So that's actually useful.
Three.
I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I think about stuff a lot, and I probably think about it more vibrantly. But, like, I don't know how other people think. I'm listening to other people. That's, you know what? That is usually their problem if they see it as that. That's at least my opinion on that. Someone does not follow through on something they said they would do. You feel disappointment that it's proportionate to the importance of the commitment. Does not follow through on something they said they would do. Judgment. You said you would do it. You did not. This is a character question. Confusing followed by distress because the gap between what they said and what happened feels like a fundamental problem. Fine, people are unreliable. I had planned for this.
2 and 3.
It's
for me.
It's just okay. You're not wrong. I know. That's probably also one of those. Probably one of those reasons why I could probably not live in Berlin. Great city. It's probably the most normal. They have too many clubs.
But interesting that you choose the autistic answer.
Judgment?
Yeah.
No, it's not a...
That's the autistic answer.
That the 3 is the autistic answer.
I think they're both, but okay.
No, oh.
In this case.
Oh.
Both at the same time.
Have you ever been... Oh, okay. Okay, maybe this is like literally coming due to my grandparents maybe being also autistic, but like I know at least I grew up.
So your grandparents on which side of your family?
Father,
which you said is on the spectrum.
For my mother, he also did it.
So maybe he was also on the spectrum.
Holy shit! There might be something wrong with my nephew.
I wouldn't say wrong. That's
no, yeah, wrong. It's more like I don't know what my nephew might develop in the future. I already talked with my mom about that because my father was like, I don't know what he was sending me a video like, hey, from like a mountain bike downhill person. He was like, hey, do you think he would do that later in life? And I'm like, I don't know. We still need to find out if he has the your family's train autism. Like, but like, no. If you don't follow through on what you said, you will be judged here in Germany. You will be judged. That's just the thing. Because, like, holy shit, you said you do things, You should do it. Your approach to an interesting topic is best described as. Also, I agree with that. Like, I think you kind of like. I think this is probably the only case in the world where I agree with to a degree more the idea of a moral failing, because like you said you would do it.
It's cunt.
It's cunt. I know. See, German. Your approach to an interesting topic is best described as read the best books from a view, move on. It's not over for a period of weeks or months. Is worse than thorough and systematic, because understanding something halfway is worse than not understanding it at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have picked 2.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is more like in terms of judgment that I should probably clarify that in Germany it's seen as you only commit to things you know you can do in the time frame you say you can do. It's not even bad if you say no. That's not a problem. Saying no is not a problem, but saying yes and not doing it, that is the problem. Go with you. The real problem in the world is people don't think things through properly before acting. True. Imprecision in language, in thought, in action. Everything else follows from this.
Also not wrong.
People say one thing and do another.
Also correct.
Rules without reasons and reasons without the courage to follow them to their conclusion.
Also correct.
Honestly, I would say though most people just don't think things through before they're acting. Like, I'm sorry, I've seen enough self-destructive people on all scales of society.
All of them are true.
Mm-hmm.
To some degree, I would pick 4.
What do you mean with opposite of work culture in most places? Oh, there's this thing, yeah. Yeah, no, here it's more like when you commit to something, do it. If not, it's fine. Just
if
say
you can.
You can
Do it, plan around that and say that so that people can help.
Like, I mean, hell, if you get like ill here, most workplaces just send you home straight. That's just a normal thing here. Most workers are expected to lie about what you're able to do. It's not that this doesn't happen here. Probably also, especially in the tech sector, because that is just a cesspool.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, I know at least most like smaller companies, they're generally like, nah, if you can't do it, just tell it. Just say it. Or, if you can't do it correctly.
That's the reason people that you call to fix something in your home are like, we're coming between 8 and 18.
That's also the worst, because I know not everyone does that. I need to, I need to defend that to a degree, because like, again, I will say, considering my dad and my grandfather had a company like that, and he was punctual. I worked
they're also punctual.
Yeah, they just don't tell you.
They give you a time frame.
They give a time frame, and then said that's that. And they like most, but yeah, let's see. What is my German?
German.
Yeah, I'm German. 31% autistic though.
It's just a test.
Yep. Yeah, your patterns are cultural, not neurological. You have internalized a set of values, precision, order, directness, the moral weight of punctuality. That is German philosophical tradition worked out with unusual care. I mean, you say with unusual care. Again, we just had a lot of autistic people.
See, second paragraph.
Fucking cunt!
See, cunt. Cunt is there.
Oh, curious. I'm not German. I mean, again, I do think like we had people that, especially philosophers or people that wrote like books and shit that they do just weird ass things they did.
Oh yes.
Like, listen, one of our most famous historical musicians just stopped playing the piano when he felt like it, jumped onto the piano and started meowing. And I'm not lying, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart did that. He was just a cat boy. He just sometimes randomly jumped on tables and started meowing. He did that.
Although we don't know why he did that.
Listen, he also wrote he wrote a piece that was basically
lick me in my asshole.
Yeah, lick me in my asshole. And then he also kind of invented ragtime. Again. Oh no, I'm true with that. Like, meaning that he wrote a piece, like a few pieces, but there's one that survived. That he actually wrote down, which was more like a training for the fingers. But it's effectively ragtime. Like, hundreds years later, that would develop separately in like black culture, which is incredibly fascinating. I see. Yeah, I mean, I do think I've heard of that. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's one of those, if you ever learn about the piano and you learn about Mozart and you're like, oh, it's just Mozart. How good can it be? Then you get into the details and you're like, yep, that's literally the perfect definition of a mad genius.
Depending on when he grew up, he might have been really fun to be around.
Oh, probably. I mean, honestly, Vienna of that time was just like the fucking... Honestly, and every time there's a historical piece about him, they try to make him look more normal than he was.
Way more normal.
And the thing is, again, then we had another Wolfgang Amadeus. Bach.
That's why we only call him Bach.
Yeah. And this guy went deaf and kept writing some of his best pieces while he was deaf.
He also kept directing. He failed at it.
Yeah, he kept directing. Okay, ironically, he directed while being deaf, but someone else was under him and directed correctly. So they were all told, don't look at him, don't look at the guy underneath him. I think his thing was didn't he love plain soup? Wasn't he the soup guy?
I think he was.
Yeah. So if you're wondering, oh wait, so Mozart was just like probably more in the ADHD neurodivergent direction. Bach was just like, no. Food needs to be plain, simple, and of one texture. I'm like, oh, you're that kind of autistic. I get it. The soup guy, he would like it at the soup store. Oh yeah, Kant's categorical imperative is basing this act only according to principles you would want universalized. You live by this probably without having read Kant because you have absorbed it through some combination of upbringing, temperament, and the fact that it's simply correct. It's Kant!
You say that, but Hegel would disagree.
That's true, but then again, Hegel.
You would need to understand Hegel for that.
You can pretend to understand Hegel.
Mm-hmm.
You're difficult to work with in the ways all serious people are difficult to work with. This is not a diagnosis, this is a compliment. Yeah, Wittgenstein was German speaking. Schopenhauer was German, yes. Nietzsche was German until he disowned it. Coward. The tradition that produced systematic thought also produced the most devastating critiques of systematic thought. You have somewhere in that inheritance.
To be fair, Nietzsche's philosophy was appropriated by
the Nazis.
Appropriated and twisted by the Nazis. I can kind of see why he had to gripes like that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, well, technically, Kafka also kind of falls under that German label to a degree. And Kafka was probably trans. Like, let's just be real here. Anyway, probably not autistic. Probably, I should you know what? Let's do this. I should just hand this out and basically, yep. But the test was fun. The test was fun. You think about Nietzsche as a poor little meow. Nietzsche is a... You know, now I have to think about the political ideology cat girls. I think I need to now explain the political ideology cat girls. How should I put it in the best way? So there was a webcomic. I don't think it's up anymore, but someone drew political ideologies as cat girls. I believe I found an archive. Ooh, nice. Yeah, let me just point out basically we have, how's it called? Yes, Nihilism cat girl. She's the best. Nihilism is just like best girl, you know? She's pretty great. So yeah, talking about the guy in the TV was talking about fathers. But yeah, nihilism is great. Nihilism is really great.
Nihilism is also correct.
Hey!
Yes.
Not necessarily as an ideology, because they can interpret it in many ways, but the nihilistic reality is correct.
That is not wrong. But yeah, I guess we established I'm really just German. Someone did an egoist cat girl. I don't know her design anymore, but yep. Oh well, but yeah. I don't know why the site is down. I think they got harassment for it? Because the internet sucks. But I really don't remember. Yeah, we usually can't have nice things on the internet because someone always will just be like, how can I harass this person? Oh well. Hey, the thing, why it's always so dumb is also, you know, it's always the, usually the very petty reason of someone is more popular or, you know, does something more popular than me. So people get pissed and, you know, try to find something. And that's like, ironically, really 99% the case. Oh, come on, oh well. I think I have it. Yeah, that's usually just a case that of what happens. Like, it's dumb, but also like, I feel like a lot of people actually do not realize that. Like how... Here's the thing. I think one of the most important things to, like, learn / understand about, especially the internet, is that nearly everyone on the internet lies. And this isn't because, you know, they're doing it consciously. It's usually because there are less consequences. So a lot of people just choose the easy way to deal with things. They don't tell the full story. They might just, yeah, it's convenient. Like, you know, listen, if you, for example, started lying to someone, or you know, try to use them in your, like, local sphere, this would have repercussions because people know that person, it spreads, and they would have, you know, social repercussions. On the internet, you know, if you feel like, and this goes from, you know, the literal pests that know what they're doing, to just people that are, and, you know, for example, and how's it called? Insecure. Because when you're insecure, well, you also do not want to face those insecurities. So if someone, you know, might get too pushy, you can just spin it, and it makes it easier for yourself.
What are you standing around for?
Like, the whole lies that you tell to yourself just become exaggerated on the internet because, you know, it's kind of easier to just accept that world. Oh well.
Keep your wits about you. Keep your wits about you. Bloody summer is ready to go.
That's also why I am, why I got, like, more pedantic, I would say, because I do think, like, I know we live in an age of disinformation that is also, you know, on one hand, brought forth by, you know, right-wingers, but also, like, in very small areas, a lot of leftist people also do that.
It's working!
Like, there's small things like, Oh, fuck. Like, for example, there's just a lot of, how should I put it in the best way?
Keep your wits about you. Here comes the rotter. It's working. You're doing it.
There we go.
Bastards are charged up.
Dead.
Hey!
There's a huge picture on the ceiling.
All I can see is the floor.
All right then.
Whoa! What a contraption!
Somewhere deep down.
Come on. But yeah, it's just, oh wait, this isn't even like a, you know, defeatist thing or so to say that, like, I just, listen, people do lie. And especially, you know, again, with less social consequences, they just do it more. And for a lot of various reasons, and this isn't like a big moral failing, it's just like, it can be, but like also, you just need to be aware of that. This is why I think we should be pedantic. This is why we should like focus on details, because there's a lot of things that, for example, get lost and it keeps happening. Like, for example, I think probably pretty egregious, like there are small things like, for example, where we talk about why is a game like it is, and then, you know, people usually jump to, oh, it has to be the publisher. And then they claim shit that is insane. Because, like, I'm sorry to say this, basically no publisher goes and micromanages a studio. A lot of stuff are studio decisions. Also, no, Titanfall 2 released that date because Respawn Entertainment wanted that. If anything, the fact that EA kept bundling the game and kept promoting it was one of the reasons it got big with Apex Legends later. Those are small things, you know, for example, about gaming. And they still, if you think about it, kind of matter a lot. And then you have, like, the big ones, like, oh, you want to engage with leftism. And then you're like, oh, the USA does a lot of bad things. Cool. And then people jump to like, oh, everyone who opposes the USA is good. Nope. I feel like we just recently had a wake-up call with Russia with that, because like, holy shit, did a lot of people hold up Russia as like great, and then they just did the imperialism, and then everyone was like, oh no, what are we going to do now? And it's like, it's not like this was hidden. Like, this was out in the open. It was just more of an you didn't want to hear it, because then the whole my team versus the other team would become really messy, wouldn't it? It is weird. And like, now I do see how a lot of people just basically glance over the fact that Iran is a despotic regime. Like, the fact they are opposing USA, and they are to a degree one of the few powers in the Middle East that still help oppose the USA and Israel, that can be true at the same time of they're an autocratic regime that quite literally Gesundheit, murdered everyone that could oppose them the moment they took power. Oh yeah, that's actually an interesting thing to point out, because I think a lot of people don't know that. So the reason we now have an Islamic person at the head, and like, I know a lot of people just were like, oh, they're just, you know, that's just Shia Islam, you know, that's that. Listen, this is a cultural thing, and like, holy shit, I've seen this argument pulled up about like North Korea, by the way, that they're like, no, they just like the Kim family. You don't understand that. Wow, that's Orientalism. Just mix it to your excuse here, buddy. Oh, but like, just saying, oh no, he's just a respected like religious head is just like, oh boy, I don't know where to start with that. But no, the thing is, see, America couped Iran. They, by the way, almost failed, and one branch just was like, no, we're pushing this through. And they just basically got lucky that Mossadegh, you know, the democratically elected president of the Iran, who's, by the way, pretty much more of a standard socialist with capitalism aligned. His only thing was saying, hey, maybe we should own our oil. That's the one thing. You know, he just didn't want to have a civil war. This is why he just gave up, and it's what they gave. You know, then they got the Shah. And the thing is, the Shah was really, really fucking bad. Like, just again, you need to keep in mind the Shah was someone they actually disposed of before, because the British were like, this guy was probably going to work together with the Nazis. Like, the Nazis during World War II. Anyway, so the Shah was bad. Really fucking bad. But also, crucially, the Shah and his military police basically killed off every single one of the opposition groups except the churches. They couldn't close the mosques. They could not close down the mosques. That was the one thing they could not do. So the whole resistance started forming around the mosques, and crucially, and I need to stress this, this was across all groups. Like the coalition, like that brought down the Shah, was socialists, communists, libertarians, Muslims. They all worked together. This was like basically everyone just organizing through the mosques because, you know, they were the last network outside of the government standing. That's the last piece of infrastructure that was left there. Fun fact, by the way, this happened in a lot of countries. Like, for example, if you wonder where the quote-unquote resistance in the GDR happened, in the churches. The church was literally the one thing they couldn't close, and like everyone grouped there, from from quite literally the socialists to the communists, because fun fact, a lot of Eastern Bloc people actually went after communists and anarchists. Like that's the one thing when you suddenly hear about stuff like Tiananmen Square was actually a group of Maoist students. Should tell you a lot, actually. Anyway, but the thing is, they then protested, and like they were violently suppressed, but the protests kept happening. This was like the thing that kept happening. They protested, they were violently beaten down, they mourned the dead. And after the mourning phase was over, they went back to protesting. By the way, the same shit happened before Trump invaded Iran. Just so you know how the situation for the regime was before, you know, this whole thing just strengthened their position. I wonder why they attacked them. Just saying, they attacked them to make them strong again, to further support. Anyway, but the thing is, they brought down the Shah, and like the moment the Shah was gone, the Muslims seized the power. Like they killed off everyone that was not on their side. Again, the revolution against the Shah was not a Muslim one. It was a one that was organized through the mosques, which gave them more power than everyone else because they were literally the last people standing. But they still seized power violently. And oh, by the way, all the potential opposition that was in prison back then due to the Shah, they killed them too. So yeah, I find it highly irritating when some people just suddenly seem to describe them as just, you know, just some Arab people opposed to American imperialism. They are opposed to American imperialism, but like, please do not sweep under the rug that they're a regime, because like I can almost guarantee you, if this shit show ends somehow, which is apparently does not, because, you know, the USA just doesn't have their fascistic vassal state on the leash. There will be a rough wake-up call when there are probably protests again. What are those stories? It's a sign of the man's return to faith. Seeking more, God summoned the woman. That is how God works. Yeah! Oh well. Let's, I don't really want to comment too much on the whole situation. It's just like, shit, we do need to keep context to a degree. It's just really fucking important. Like I will also just usually again I say enough as I know, because like also it's one of those things with you know, in the quiz, when if you don't actually thoroughly investigate stuff, you end up in those situation where you know parts of topics, but not the full topic, and then well, then you have problems. Because, like, that is one of those things why I do actually think this is, like, a thing people should do. Because if you just know things halfway, you usually will fall for the dumbest shit possible. That's one thing, but also like I do think the most important thing, like the biggest thing people keep falling to, and I know why, and I know why they keep doing it, but like they should stop doing that, is the whole you just leave out some information and context. Because then a lot of things can sound really nice until you know you see the bigger picture. Like, I mean, for example, I still keep hearing, oh, but we could use Gen AI for. Listen, the only thing we could say Gen AI might be reliably useful for is chatbots. That's it. Everything else, we have data that it does not work as promised. You might think it does, but it does not. Like, oh, but it could take over this task. Okay, we know about hardcore skill, hard skill deterioration from using Gen AI. Do we really want to do that? We maybe have like picture sorting algorithms. That's like a thing that also could work, but yeah, the usage of large language models is incredibly limited. And then I hear people like, oh, you should then I hear takes like, oh, you should not vibe code, but you know, maybe use Gen AI to explain how to code. And I'm like, if this thing can't code itself, how can it explain to me how to code? This is bullshit. I will try to code tomorrow again. And I will try to find some fucking tutorials again, but yeah, that's the thing. The whole if it can sort through things roughly, that's it. That is where it's relatively okay at. But that's it. That's just everything. But like otherwise, chatbots. That's it. That's like the one thing. Sex chatbots, basically. Only people that do not want to talk to other people. And that audience is small.
Hey!
Yeah, we had sex chatters before though. Yeah, I mean, they could be. I think the only way we could argue is that the current ones are better. But still, that's like the one thing I will concede. Like, you know, in all fairness. What's this? you know what the funniest bit about, by the way, the AI chatbots are? Because, like, I generally was just like, sometimes I'm curious. I just want to see how this shit look. Because, like, I'm not touching that, you know? I'm not using it because fuck that. But, you know, I'm just like, at some points, you know, the curiosity gets you. It's like the whole thing with, you know, Adobe saying, hey, I can summarize the new chapter that you wrote. And like, okay, tell me how. And, you know, then it just didn't work. It just flat out didn't work. You could just read the whole chapter. Hope people enjoyed that though. I do try to write another one this month. I mean, I can see how that is fun because it's like that. Oh, you're breaking the intended way of using it. But like, I like, so I actually went to one of those sites just like once just to be like, okay, what do people like actually use it for? I just was like, okay, we know this is used for porn. It's right? It's the erotic chatbots. Like, you know, it usually, if you can see what kind of you know, chatbot / porn is being generated, you can definitely make a good can take a relatively good guess of who's using it. And you go on the site, and it's just the majority was puppy girl content. I'm like, oh, I know who's using this one. Yeah. It's like most popular bots to chat with puppy girl, puppy girl, puppy girl. Oh! Listen, it's like, you know that meme? With like, you know, the tracker, the tracker being like, what, like people are like, that was here like, trans girls were here, why puppy girl content? Like, puppy girls and exploitation are just like, if that shows up somewhere, you're like, okay, where's the trans woman that did this? Because that is so hyper specific. Yeah. Puppy girls and exploitations are like the two genders of trans girls to a degree. It's a joke. It's more like the two ends of the spectrum. You know, one is like the sweet half up girl.
You should say spectrum.
Okay, yeah.
Gender's also spectrum, but
it's just more for the joke. That they come in two variants. You're either like the
But that's binary then.
Cyborgified mech pilot that is owned and abused by the handler, or you're a puppy girl.
But I'm neither.
I know. There's also the weird amalgamation in the middle. That's both.
No.
It's a joke, because online most are like that.
You mean it's a generalization?
It's a very heavy generalization. Sorry, I should have been more specific with my with what I say, because it creates physical pain inside of you. I'm very sorry. Are you rejoicing, dead man? It is said that free will is an illusion and there is no escape from one's fate.
That's technically true, depending on how you define fate. If you define it as causality, then yes.
It is like a piece of iron scrap in a magnetic field that is pulled toward a magnet.
So causality.
Yeah. But which cannot help believing that it is attached to the magnet of its own will.
And that's because the fucking iron thing is stupid in this metaphor.
There is no escape from fate's day and night. Okay, generally I have never seen a single bit of Fate.
Maybe I should watch it with you.
Okay, here's the thing though.
We could start with the light novel. Not the light novel, the visual novel.
It's an eroge.
Yes. So?
It's a heterosexual eroge.
We can mod that?
Do I even want to do that? We did Umineko. That's like already. We did it before. It was cool. The remake isn't Naruto, to be fair. Cowards. Fucking cowards. I shall... know what? I shall read the original out of spite. Ooh. Oh no, I just want the story. I don't want the porn. Cowards. The porn is relevant to the story. Some of the version scenes were straight up better. You know what? That's not something I doubt. It's just like cutting out the porn is just like it's still a coward move. Like,
How'd you get here?
The old man from before brought me.
Just who is this guy?
Who knows? Anyway, let's hurry.
let's save and do the rift. I might just go right in front of the boss today and that sounds good. Yeah, I have not like also not really felt like I should try it. Like, I mean, I don't really have any connection to Fate at all. Like, I knew people liked it. Then Astolfo happened, and like I think the whole people being like very fucking transphobic over that character just put me off completely. It's not even against the character. I'm just like, that was rancid, and no.
It's one of the few instances where fandom actively like repelled you to actually engage with the material.
It's working!
Oh yeah, that's kind of how I would describe my relationship with fate.
Interesting performance.
Yeah, it just really crashed. Probably because there were too many particles. Also, maybe I'm slightly bitter because Fate still seems to get anime content. But no more strike witches? What the fuck is that? What kind of injustice is that? Cruel world we live in. Not surprising. I mean, it's an old visual novel. Nerugo. It's like I can see how this definitely has rough edges.
They usually do.
They definitely have. It's kind of like this whole thing. Oh well. I mean, I'm not really like... I don't have the biggest problem with that. But, yeah. Rough edges and stuff. I mean, hell,
Bring in the bastards!
I will say... The whole thing of, like, writing an Nerugo itself is, or like anything erotic is just... I mean, there is a reason for the stuff I'm doing is like the whole, I want to write once per month at least, get something out, then also have like at least one sex scene in there, because I do think, you know, erotic writing and such is like maybe the hardest part of writing.
Also, you can enjoy stuff, even if not everything of it is good. Like, we enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge. And that thing started out really, really well.
Agonia, you enjoy fucking Naruto Abridged a little bit too much.
Yeah.
To the point that, probably the worst joke in the whole series is literally a trigger word for you to just start laughing manically.
Not manically.
I
just can't stop it.
I'm not kidding, by the way. I'm not gonna say it because... Actually, why should I say it? I can just demonstrate it.
No.
Okay. Since you asked so nicely, I won't say it.
Good.
Keep your wits about you! Ready to go!
Yeah, I think erotic writing is like really hard because, you know, mainly because of how do you write something that is like erotic? Like, you know, you kind of want to get a certain feeling in other people and like Do you write more? Do you write less? Is this cringe now? Oh god, what if I wrote cringe? Like, nothing worse if you want to write something that's, you know, erotic and then it's cringe. The horrors.
No hesitation! You're doing it! No
Oh yeah, the performance just is tanky right now.
Bring in the bastards!
Oh, there you are. More regenerator, carry limit up. Nice. Oh, I'm already at 29,000. Okay. One more rinse sentry and it would go up. Oof.
Shutting down.
I like the fists. They do drop pretty good. Well now, I guess we ran a little bit out of topics.
Hey!
I should probably go back and... You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, considering you already brought up the current political climate to a degree, it is fascinating, to say the very least, to see that basically two superhero shows that started out like on completely different ends of what they wanted to say about like society, or like express with their superheroes, and now just running like basically, hey, our antagonist is basically Trump plot lines, and it's interesting.
Take a stand in for the whole political.
By the way, I can't hear you well right now.
Okay.
You need to either be louder or.
I wouldn't say it's like directly Trump, but it's very close.
I mean, I'd say, okay, honestly, Daredevil and like Wilson Fisk and how's it called again, Homelander are very.
They're very obvious stand-ins for the guy, yeah, but they're not the guy. Not
honestly, it is kind of interesting because I do what you get, because I mean, I'd say both shows basically already come with from different angles to everything. Like, for example, Daredevil is like still very much interested in the question of, you know, someone who, you know, basically abused the system so thoroughly, like Fisk / Kingpin. Also, my bot, I will get rid of you. Like, can you even, can the system even handle that? Like, let me just be clear, both shows are very blunt, and it's kind of fascinating because, I mean, The Boys basically started out as a critique of Disney. Like, that was it, you know? They were like, hey, look at this apparatus that is very clearly, like, modeled after Disney, and, the MCU that just keeps farting out, like, superhero content with, like, real superheroes, but they're also... You know, there was the whole, actually the Nazis did the superheroes, but then they were commercialized. Like, there's a whole thing about that where they already started going down the whole Homelander is going to be a fascist route, but like, it's just like an interesting thing seeing, you know, one, like a show where one side, like, where they literally put their political opponents into freedom camps. And okay, listen, I was like, to a degree, just like, okay, I don't know if I like, here's the thing, the whole thing with internment camps is to a degree, oh god, how do you handle that? But on the other hand, it was kind of funny to see how they just basically went with, basically the most crass American version you could imagine. Like,
Ready to go.
like quite literally they're called freedom camps. People wear like fucking America striped prison outfits in there with the logo of Homelander on there, and you get food at a fucking burger. They still have a burger shop. Like, basically the whole McDonald's would run the camps. Thing is like, okay, you know what? I guess you're back on your corporate angle and like maybe a little bit. Oh boy, that's you know what? I wouldn't disagree, but also like it is kind of an interesting angle. Let me put it like that.
It's working. It's working.
Yeah, I was already like, oh god, yeah, they're calling back to that. But still, you know, I'm like, okay. So, you know, The Boys is just like one episode in right now. Daredevil is now 4 and like a whole season. And Daredevil, like, okay, honestly, I still am fascinated how much, basically the Daredevil series is like a direct continuation. Same actors, same writers, like same sets, etc. From the Netflix show. They're just now produced by Disney, and somehow it is leagues better. I don't know. It's like it's definitely the more serious one of both, but it's still kind of fascinating. Just oh yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, they're doing the whole Trump equivalent, but also like, shit, that's just a good, like, that's just a good Daredevil plot, like a real, like, one of those things you would find in a comic, you know? It shit's good. And you have like, how's it called? And, I mean, ironically, you know, they know exactly also what they can use because one upside of basically being, you know, Marvel is I mean, they have the Punisher, and you know what? Yep, they just really went with nope. All the cops just wear the Punisher logo, and the Punisher calls them fucking clowns. Like fascistic clowns. Like Frank Castle hates them in the show. Like there's this whole dynamic of, you know, like the Punisher Punisher and Daredevil just, they're like, we have to work together, but you know, Daredevil is like he does not want to kill, and then you know, the Punisher's just like, really? These maggots? These fascistic pieces of shit? And you're like, you know what? I get you, Matt. Frank has the point, though. Yeah, I think the most interesting dynamic they like, I mean, the whole, like, let me just put it like this. The whole, you know, they literally have now a quote-unquote anti-vigilante task, but it's their version of ICE. With a snitch line, and like, fucking, how's it called, Bullseye? It's just like, fuck ICE, he baits them into, firefights and kills them. And like, it's kind of interesting that they're like, that the whole question of the show of like, should you kill the fascists? Is the answer to that seems to be right now, maybe you should still think about taking the life of a human being, but what is done is done. You know, if it happens and you're like, oh, okay, interesting that you position yourself like that, like... Yeah, the whole... Again, it is interesting to see that from a show, you know, on Disney Plus. You know what? I think the fact that it is a Disney show... Okay, let me be clear here. I do think a lot of people are just not watching it in general. Like, the irony is that I think the irony is the fact that people have, you know, Marvel fatigue. And they specifically also like you know what? Let's just save here for the next time. Like, I think that's the thing. A lot of people have Marvel fatigue, and like, let me be clear here. I do think that, you know, after Endgame, after just so many series that ranged from this was interesting, but then just kind of mellowed out, to that happened, and just basically being set up for something else. Like, let me put it like this. Disney did not have a lot of good shows in terms of quality. Like, for their two big franchises, you know, like... I do like The Mandalorian for what it is, and I still will defend the Book of Boba Fett to a degree. It was dumb.
What about the shows that nobody noticed?
Which one?
Summertime Rendering.
No, I mean like the ones they produce themselves for their big two franchises.
Still.
Okay, Summertime Rendering is good, but that's what they bought in.
Yeah, but nobody
and people
noticed.
should still watch it. Yeah.
It's good.
I think the irony is just like, I think the two shows, okay, I would say, God, the MCU shows were just like, they were enjoyable at best, but like, no, it's not one of those, let me put it like this. Basically, and I will say this that probably a lot of people just did get, Daredevil on Netflix was not that good. It wasn't. Like, the one show that went really hard on Netflix was Jessica Jones, and I'm still happy we got 3 seasons of that. Which is still funny that Jessica Jones was made by the same person that did Twilight, which is just... Okay. So the Twilight movies, which is just so funny, but also like... it's a really good show. Because it's based... I feel like I've heard high praise for Daredevil. Let me put it like this. Daredevil is... let me put it like this. I think the first Daredevil season was held up, and people keep saying that because it came out and it wasn't shit. The second season you can basically sum up with the beginning is interesting because, you know, you have the Punisher and Frank Castle is just... Let me just put it like this. They kind of casted the perfect Punisher, which is just... He's in the fucking Spider-Man trailer, which should tell you everything about how much they like this Punisher. Like, I'd say the second season was just like, the beginning was interesting, and they kind of set up about the whole, yeah, Kingpin will return, and then the second half was set up for the Defenders. And it was kind of boring. And then the third season came out, and I don't even remember what happened in the 3rd season. I think Fisk was out again, and he planned a comeback, and he hired Poindexter / Bullseye. But like, as Agonia points out, Bullseye was boring. Like, okay, let me be clear. I think the biggest problem they had on Netflix was Netflix wanted the shows to be gritty and grounded. Yeah, the 3rd season was pretty forgettable. It was just like, I don't even think, when you don't really remember what the plot was, other than Kingpin was back, and now they had Bullseye. Yeah, I mean, I'd say the whole run with Jessica Jones was definitely more interesting because, like, listen, the thing about why Jessica Jones worked so well and is like generally such a good show is just like, even though again people just stopped watching after the after the 1st season. Like the 1st season had David Tennant as the Purple Man, and like listen, Jessica Jones is just basically a feminism 101 intro. Every single antagonist in the season is some form of guy that represents some major point of just basic feminist theory. That's it. Like, Jessica Jones is good because it just gives a fucking shit. Like, it gives 0 shits about the whole superhero part. And that's why it works. And I mean, the beginning was also interesting because, like, Luke Cage ran around, and then they did the whole Luke Cage. Luke Cage, again, had the whole thing of the first half was interesting. Then they shelved all the interesting parts for the second one, which I'd say the most interesting part, because it's like, oh, his brother is here and he has a mech suit, like an exoskeleton from Hammer Industries. Oh yeah, remember Hammer Industries from Iron Man 2? That was brought up in Luke Cage. Weird shit that I remember that, but that was in my mind. That was just the one thing I remembered. I just found that interesting that they just reused that. And then Iron Fist came. Oh boy. Iron Fist. Iron Fist sucked. Let's just get to the point. Iron Fist just kind of sucked. The most fun part about Iron Fist was legitimately the guy he grew up with, like basically his he saw as his brother just went on the worst trip of his life. Like, you know what? Fuck it. I just realized what it was, and this is why I like that character. It's basically the same shit everyone was hoping for Ghoul went through. Remember Witch from Mercury, Ghoul? That went through the tour of trauma,
and nothing happened.
And nothing happened because the show just just belly flopped so hard, and it's like actually kind of bad in the second half. Like,
not kinda.
It's bad.
Terrible writing.
It is really terrible in the second half in terms of writing.
It's worse, but
you know what? It is hard to beat Crooks at that. Like, Crooks it's like genuinely just a manufactured piece of. They had to appease some nepo baby with that shit.
They had one good episode. Like, if you ignore everything else, they had one good episode.
They had one good episode, and then they just bombed. But yeah, Iron Fist really was just... He had to... And one guy went through, like, the fucking trauma and then just came out with, like, fuck it. This whole thing is bullshit. My life is just chaos. Might as well just stand on the side of my best friend. Like, he generally came out a better person, and it's like, kind of, this was neat. But, yeah, the show was bad. And then the Defenders came out. The Defenders was bad. Let me just put it like this. They had Sigourney Weaver as the antagonist, and I still don't know what her deal was. There was something with dragon bones under New York. I think that granted immortality? Some shit like that. I think Elektra is also still alive due to that. But they also just shelved her basically for the better. Let me be clear here. Oh yeah, Elektra was also there. You see what I mean with I forgot her? She was already in season 2. And yeah, then basically all the second and third seasons came around, and I think I felt like that with half of DC AMU movies. Honestly, it's not wrong. Like I do think the first, like the original, like the first ones, they are still the best to a big degree, and they also aged the best. But like, oh god, did a bunch of them just became stuff for the next Avenger movie, and I think that's the big problem. Like, a lot of them were just stuff for the next Avenger movie, and then, you know, you came into the whole post-Endgame Endgame part, and all the shows were basically stuff to set up the next Avengers movie. Like, quite literally, Loki only existed to explain why the multiverse was suddenly there. Oh yeah, if you wonder why the multiverse never happened before, that's explained in Loki. And I have to point out that still might be the best show they had until Daredevil. Yeah, it's supplemental material, and I don't know where to go with that. It's just like genuinely, it was, you know, they're not that bad. It's like, oh hey, the Hawkeye season that just literally wanted to run for one season, and it's basically just there to tell you that Kingpin is back, so they're gonna make a new Daredevil show. And then, you know, you had Loki, which was just there to tell you, introduce the new antagonist of the multiverse, which is not the antagonist anymore, but you know, now you know why the multiverse is actually a thing. Or why the TVA is there during that. Yeah, the TVA is really only used in Deadpool again. But like, the Deadpool movie is also just there to like give all the old Marvel movies before Marvel a send-off. They had Blade again. I'm not gonna be mad. They had Blade. And you know what? Considering Disney failed at making a Blade movie, they can just rehire Wesley Snipes and make another Blade movie. I'm just saying. Old Blade, I'd be down. The thing is just, yeah, basically, I think no one oh god, I forgot She-Hulk. Yeah, you know what, we don't talk about She-Hulk. That that show was just, I don't even know where to begin with that. That is just, She-Hulk is just kind of bad.
Very average.
What?
Very average.
Very. It's like, it tries to be like meta humor on the whole MCU itself, but it's just not funny. And then there's a whole, I don't even know where the plot went, because it's like, oh hey, the antagonist from like the first Hulk movie is back, but now he's like kind of a wellness guru, but he's also, and she's like, maybe he's bad, but apparently he's not, and it's just, I don't know. Also, then this is where they reintroduced Daredevil, and the costume just kind of looked bad, and everyone's just like, that's not really Daredevil. So I'm not even blaming people for just thinking the new Daredevil season would just be straight ass, because the MCU shows were just not good, and you didn't expect them to, again, if you watched all of Daredevil until that part, and like, you just be like, oh yeah, maybe it's good, and then you watch it and you're like, wait, did they just deliver a home run? Is this just like the best MCU show so far because it gives a zero shits about the whole MCU thing and actually tries to expand on the, lower stakes part of, a lot of superheroes are just hanging around New York, and there may be some antagonists like Kingpin that leverage different kinds of power than just, global annihilation? Oh. And it's topical. It's about something. It lets the Punisher shit on the police. That's good. And also I can talk about that because, no one fucking watches it. Because they're all like, oh, it's good, that's interesting to hear. Yeah, you're not gonna watch it. And I'm pissed because I do want to talk with more people about that watch it, because, like, generally it's good. But then also it's kind of interesting because every time I say something is good, then I feel like everyone, during that season just didn't watch it. Or just doesn't think it was that good. And then I'm like, yeah, but do you think your shit has the staying power as what I described? Because usually it's not this, it's the other way around. Yeah. No, Daredevil is really surprisingly good because, again, also, hey, if you ever thought, hey, superhero stuff just became too CGI and too effect loaded, this is a show where people just get thrown through tables, like real tables. They just fight normally. They get like bruised easily, arms break. I think the most CGI they have is to, let Bullseye do his dumb, I throw something sharp against like a pen, and it bounces off the pen onto another pen and into someone's face. Like behind him. It's like, yeah, okay, good, you can do that. But that's it, basically. It's just really well done, So again, I'm sitting here and like probably I'm one of the few people that know about that. I mean, it's Bullseye. Also, again, remember when I said Netflix wanted everything to be gritty and serious? I think that's why the plots just couldn't be that outlandish. That is just why, characters couldn't be a little bit more like the Punisher was probably still the character they let to be the most unhinged in a Netflix show. Interestingly, there were 2 Punisher seasons, and in the first one is basically he kills a bunch of CIA people, and the second one is he kills a bunch of Nazis. It's just like, okay. Again, same people though.
But you wanted to get to Bullseye.
Yeah, but Bullseye was just so boring. Like, they had this whole angle of, he has OCD. Like, he's a perfectionist with OCD. This is why he does everything perfectly. And, when he throws things, he always throws a bullseye because he's a perfectionist. Like, how it also is kind of in the comics to a degree. Mm. And the thing is, he was just kind of boring because just like the whole Netflix series angle of, no, you need to portray your antagonists as they have to be serious and grounded, and here it's more like, no, he can laugh, he kind of behaves like a person, a bit off, like, that he just perfectly mimics a person, which again makes him 10 times more interesting as a character.
But it's still not Bullseye.
I know you like the one from the Daredevil movie, but you know what?
Sorry,
it's hard to beat him.
That's the whole reason the movie is good.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the Daredevil movie, it kind of sucked, and then you have just this one guy in there that just has like 1000% acting skills turned up, just like, yep, sorry. But it's still funny because, you know, now Bullseye is allowed to, like, you know, in the Daredevil show, he just throws, like, on Netflix, he just threw things straight. And here it's like, now he just does fucking trick shots with, like, a burger flipper. No, seriously, there's a fight in the diner, and he like throws a metal spatula to flip burgers, like, around the corner into the face of basically an ICE agent, and it's just like, hell yeah. This rules! Stupid, but it rules! It's like the whole... Ironically, they still know how to be serious, which is why the show works, and they know what characters to bring in to, you know, have some connections to other shows. Like, I mean, they're kind of setting up the whole everyone is banding against Fisk, so, like, it wouldn't surprise me if Daredevil Season 2 ends with just, like, there's a new Defender season showing up, but, like, they have new Defenders lined up. Like, hey, Jessica Jones is coming back. My favorite Fail Girl is there. No, she's like, I don't know if you ever watched the Jessica Jones show, but, like, if you ever want to have very, very deep lesbian brain rot for a character, she's perfect for that. She's like... she's a car crash. She's a literal car crash of a human being, and you cannot fix her. Just like, you can't. You can't. She's just such a mess. While she can break your back. Just saying. But yeah, it's good. I'm really, like, down with that, actually. It's just interesting to think about that we live in times where, you know, two shows basically go more about the whole, hey, we need to fight fascism message. And, I do think The Boys is just like, I mean, okay, The Boys are pretty crass, but they're also, like, basically already dead set on we're gonna kill Homelander. Meanwhile, you know, Daredevil does the, and I will say, kind of valid thing, question of, should you just kill Fisk? Or should you still let the system do it? Because, you know, killing politicians or, you know, ending regimes with a coup is, like, still very destabilizing. So there is more things this show asks about, because, you know, for example, the Punisher is like, okay, Frank is probably very much on the he would just kill Fisk if he could, but I don't know yet. He's kind of still missing in action a bit. Bullseye is basically very much on the, nope, I'm just gonna fucking kill Fisk. I'm gonna do my good deed to society and kill that fucker. And, you know, Daredevil is like, no, we can't just let, like, all that break down just because, you know, someone else is breaking the rules. It's like, you know, it's a good dynamic, actually. It's more than just, you know, evil shit. Again, I'll not spoil it, but Fisk's plan is genuinely good. Like, from the first scene, which people bitched about, to the last scene of season 1, it's all connected, and it's a good, like, I cannot stress enough how this might be the best villain plan in the whole MCU so far. Like, he has a goal and he pulls through. It's just like, damn. And the answer is kind of obvious when it's revealed. Like, yeah, it's good. It's a good show. Anyway, see you all around. Went a bit overtime here. That's rare. You know what? It is incredibly rare. Like, you know, writing a villain in general, hard. Writing a good plan? I do appreciate well-executed villain. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't tell you should watch, like, Daredevil 1, 2, 3 to understand all of it, because, like, I do think you can just watch Born Again if you just know Daredevil in general. But genuinely, I think they actually managed to make Kingpin the best antagonist in the whole MCU so far. Like in terms of actual villain. And again, he was also more boring, and you were like, what the fuck is your point in the previous seasons? But nope, he and Vanessa in the new one is just, they're just pulling through with their shit, and like, oh yeah, it's a good villain. But yeah, see you all around tomorrow. Hopefully, if no bullshit happens again, I might actually sit down and do some Godot again for a bit. So see you all around, and have a good night. Bye!